Hi,
Hi,
my name is Aoife, and you are?
my name is Jonathan Fair. I'm a student at the University of Kentucky, prior service military veteran.
Okay, so should I call you, you go by Jonathan or Mr. Fair?
You can call me Jonathan.
Okay, Jonathan. So, how's your day today?
It's been pretty well. I relaxed, did some studying, and went grocery shopping.
Oh, grocery shopping. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. I had pecan pie, I had brownies, I had turkey. It was wonderful.
Wow, that's a lot of wonderful food. And I actually made pecan pie for the first time, and it turned out to be okay, which I was so glad. And so what brings you in today?
I just wanted to find out a little bit of information about hypertension and high blood pressure and things like that, because I recently came back from the doctor, and she told me that I may need to speak with a dietitian about kind of adjusting my diet a little bit to avoid having a heart attack.
Oh, okay. Okay. So your doctor told you, and this is like recently?
It was about a week and a half ago.
A week and a half ago?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about that?
About seeing the doctor?
No, how do you feel that when the doctor tell you that you have hypertension?
It didn't exactly surprise me. I mean, there's no history of really heart attacks in my family, but I grew up on a red meat, high salt content culture and family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I understand that. So, according to your personal data, you said that your blood pressure is 142/94, which is stage 1 hypertension. So, which is a good thing because you came very early and you're ready to take a step ahead and make some changes. So, how do you feel about making little changes? We're not talking about really big change, eliminate the whole food that you love. So we don't want to do that. So we're looking at the big picture. Little tiny baby steps. So how ready are you from like scale 1 to 10? 1 of being like really ready, 10 to be like not ready at all.
About a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
So what makes it 7?
I enjoy what I eat. I crave salt, and I crave foods with really high fat content.
Okay. You like salt and food. Well, I totally understand because that's what makes the food delicious. Everybody knows that. So, but first of all, before we go further, how much do you understand about hypertension?
I think I Google searched a little bit after my doctor told me, and I know that my numbers, they're not anything horrible, but they're not anything great. They're kind of headed towards bad, and I know that a lot of it comes from stressful work conditions, lack of exercise, and the foods that you eat.
So, do you know what hypertension does to your body generally?
I really don't know a lot about this, but I think it makes it harder for your heart to pump blood, which I think causes undue stress on your heart, and which is why people are at risk for heart attacks who have hypertension.
Yeah, you're on the right track, because that can be one of the reasons of the heart attack too, and also it can cause it can injure your blood vessels, so that's how you get clot and stroke. So that's when it gets really bad. But you're good right now because you're already here. And let's see what we have here. So how do you usually get your food? Do you usually cook by yourself, or depends on what's convenience to you wherever you go?
It depends on what's convenient. Like I said, I'm pretty busy. I go to school and I have a full-time job and I have 2 children. So I make a lot of stuff in the morning, like I'll make them breakfast, and I'll sometimes, by habit, we'll stop out at McDonald's and get things like that just because it's very convenient.
Yeah.
So.
And then do you have any financial or transportation difficulties and obstacles that you think might be in the way?
No, it's just time, like one of them's 6 and the other one's 8, and they both, want to do school activities. So I get them up in the mornings, make them breakfast. That is something that I am very strict on. Breakfast is really important. I mean, there's a lot of bacon, a lot of eggs, but they like it and I like it. And then it's just run until 10 o'clock at night when I finally get them put to bed and everything.
Yeah, I totally understand. You said that you're in school and then you have 2 kids, so you have a lot of responsibility to do every day. So that can be hard, but we can see like which area that we can tackle and see if you can make any little modification on that. And so why don't you walk me through your food diaries, like usually on the daily basis what you eat, which is what we call 24-hour recall.
Okay.
So that's basically what you eat throughout the day.
Okay, to the best of my ability, sometimes, and just like a general overview.
The general,
okay.
yeah.
Let's see. I'll just talk about what I eat. So I'll have 4 or 5 pieces of bacon and 3 or 4 eggs in the morning. Then I'll have a couple of cans of tuna about an hour and a half later. Then I'll have a couple of McDonald's hamburgers for lunch with some fries. Then around 3 or 4, I'll have a couple more burgers because they're my weakness. I love them. Then I'll go home and watch TV. And then I'll have steak, potatoes, and then before I go to bed, I'll have a big bowl of cereal. I love cereal.
Okay, sure, it's good. It sounds like you do have a lot of protein, but also protein that has a lot of salt in it. Mm-hmm. Okay. How about fruits and vegetables?
Do you mean like a strawberry smoothie?
I mean like fresh fruits and vegetables.
No, I don't really eat those that often. I mean, I'll have like a banana every now and then, but pretty rarely. Just
because you just don't like it, or is there any other reasons?
Bananas are pretty convenient, and I'll have apples too. A lot of things that you've got to prepare, like the kiwi, you've got to cut them up and peel them. And oranges are too big of a mess. Like I need something that I can have and just have in my hand and take with me in places.
Yeah, like potato and banana, you can just grab it and eat it on the way. Yeah. So first off, we can see what's the proper food plate proportion should be like. Okay. So this is from the eatright.org. So this is just show you how much grain, protein, vegetable, and fruits that you should supposedly have on your plate. Kind of like if you look at your plate, you can imagine what should be, how many of them should be in each category, and a little dairy too. Also, because you said that you always go to the fast food because it's very convenient, and you have a very busy life. So I have this guideline book for fast food. So this is very convenient because it has a list of all fast food that usually people go to eat, like a Burger King, Chick-fil-A, pizza, KFC, McDonald's, pretty much everything. So in this, it shows you how much calories, total fat, cholesterol, carbs, and sodium. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to go and literally look up in the book, but at least you have the idea, like when you're sitting on the weekend and you're just thinking like what you're probably going to have next week. So you can just like briefly go through and see, kind of like familiarize yourself with what kind of food that has a lot of sodium, what kind of restaurant that has a lot of sodium or less. Or maybe you can make a better options out of the whole thing. So at least you put some effort into it. Yeah. So this book is very useful. So you can use this book for that purpose. And also, have you heard of a DASH diet?
No, I've not.
So what do you know about it at all? No? Okay, so DASH diet is basically a diet that emphasizes on vegetable and fruits and moderate grain and protein and very low sodium. The standard DASH diet would be 2,300 milligrams, less than that per day, of sodium. And the lower is 1,500, which is very low, and that's not really what we want to do for the first start. So we want to aim for something that doable, something that you don't feel too stressed out and then you give up in the way. So there is another book that I have for sodium diet. This one. So this is 2,000 milligrams sodium restricted diet, which is very applicable for that diet because it's in the middle, not too extreme, not too lenient. So it's pretty much a guideline of what they have, like in a regular food. Because you said sometimes you go to the groceries, like just now you go to the groceries and get food. So you kind of like have an idea what kind of food that has way too much sodium, or what kind of food that has like moderate amount of sodium.
Okay.
So this is for the tips. If you want to see the comparison, this is just like one comparison that you can look like it has like a lot, significant number of sodium. Like meat, fresh meat, poultry, and fish only has 75 milligrams. But ham has 1,000, and they're like 3 ounces, the same amount. So that kind of got you thinking that what kind of meat that is just like has a really, really high amount of sodium. So you have the option. I mean, it's not like you have to cut out ham 100%, but you can have it like every now and then. So that's one of the examples. And this is just like tips on what you should look at. So, for example, you want to have like less than 1,040 milligram per serving. But it's kind of hard to look at per serving. So I would suggest you look at an entire meal. It says less than 500 milligram. So basically, if you target on 2,000 milligram, so you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 500 for each. So that will be 1,500, and then you have 500 balance that you can consume for the sodium. So that can be from your snacks.
Do you think it would be a good idea to say, because I eat a lot, I'm like, I'll have obviously breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then I'll have like a mid-morning snack and an afternoon snack. Do you think it'd be better to change my 2 snack periods to be very, 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 very low sodium intake? Because I think that just doing that would actually reduce my overall sodium intake by probably like 500, 600 milligrams. Do you think that's a good start? So
you can have more sodium in the big meal instead?
Oh, not more sodium. Just change the 2 small snack periods first.
Yeah. Give me an example of what you
like for my my mid-afternoon snack, instead of having like a couple of hamburgers again, I change it to something like some of the leaner meats, like like have tuna again, and maybe a banana. Those are both things that I like, and both things I could easily change. I'm sure the amount of sodium between those, the difference between those two is enough to make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, we can start with that. As we said earlier, we don't have to have a big start. We can always start with a small that you feel comfortable. So the very important thing that we want you to feel very comfortable, so you don't feel like too much pressure on that. And so those are some of the tips. Oh, and also this is some of the hidden sodium, like in the baking soda and baking powder, which is very much a lot in bread products and pastries. So how often do you eat those?
My wife likes pastries. She eats pastries all the time. She brings them to me, but I don't really eat them that much.
Okay, so it's not really our big concern right here. And so these are the list of beverages, bread, cereal, and so if we can see for coffee, do you drink coffee a lot?
I do.
So yeah, for coffee, there's no definite scientific proof that's saying you should completely avoid coffee, but we have to keep in mind that coffee does affect your heart pressure. So that is why you want to watch how much you drink it, because we know like some people drink a lot every day just to keep them energized. So that might not be a very good decision for someone who has hypertension. And so these are all the booklets that we have for you. So you can bring this, and we can go over this, and also we can go over the serving size and how to determine how much is too much and how much per serving. So we can always go over that in detail. in this book. So far, do you have any way that so far you're doing on keeping on track what you're eating?
What do you mean?
Like, I would
like
suggest...
a food diary?
Yeah.
No, I mean because I'm so busy, like pretty much my meals stay regular. The only things that really change is on the weekend. Like, I'm sure you could go through my refrigerator right now and basically see everything planned out for this entire week. And really, so it just mostly varies on the weekend. Like, if the kids want to go on a trip somewhere, we'll make sandwiches, or if we decide to stay home and watch movies, we'll have popcorn.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to use a food diary, but you cannot always like do it on a paper. Like, I have a paper of like how to keep a food diary.
Okay.
There's a category of that. But also you can go online. If you're the type of person that loves using technology, there is a app called MyFitnessPal.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always key in whatever that you eat over there, and it will just pop up and show all the nutrient contents in it. And also, you can go to SuperTrack. It's a Super Tracker app online, and that actually gives you specific number. Like, I will give you the information for that.
Okay.
And that will give you specific nutrients and sodium and how much calories that you have. So, at least if you put everything what you eat over there, you have the idea of what you eat for the entire week. So you can see, like, what's high and what's low, where we can see and where we can adjust. So we can see the progression. So we want to see in the big picture the little step and the progression throughout the weeks, months, until our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any problem for that?
That's it.
Do you have any more questions?
I don't know.
Alright, so I guess I'll see you in our next appointment.
Okay.
So we'll make for another appointment, and it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'll see you again.
Thank you.